Hey guys, in this video I want to go ahead and talk about completing the square, and then also as it relates to graphing quadratics. Vamos a hacer más gráficas completando el cuadrado. Okay, so we want to go ahead and factor this guy and complete the square using that. But the one we've been doing before, they never had a number here. They always just had an x squared, but now we have a number. So here's the thing about completing the square. You cannot complete the square with this guy in the front. This guy has to be a 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to move the 2 to the side and we're going to factor out the 3 from these first two terms. Entonces lo que vamos a hacer para factorizar esto y completar el cuadrado, vamos a mover el 2, pero vamos a factorizar el 3 para que nomás nos quede la x cuadrada. So let's go ahead and do that, guys. So we're going to move the 2. Okay. So we're trying to factor it. So you move the 2. And now you have 3x squared minus 6x, then the plus 2 is over here. So what are you going to do here? You're going to factor out a 3. Van a factorizar un 3. That means you're going to take it out, put it outside the parentheses. So now you have x squared. Don't look at the 2, just look at x, these two right here. So now you have x squared minus 2x. That's the factor. Esa es la factorización de este. So now what are you going to do? Now you're going to complete the square. Ahora vamos a completar el cuadrado. You're going to take half of the middle. So let's go ahead and add half. Half of negative 2 is negative 1. And you're going to square it. Okay. I'm going to close that off because this factoring of completing the square has only to do with this. Then the plus 2 is on the outside. Now remember, whatever we add on one side, we have to add on the other. So what am I going to add? ¿Qué voy a agregar? You're going to add the negative 1 squared, okay? Because we always do that. But you see now this 3? The 3 is multiplying everything on the inside. So you're going to have to use that as well. Like so. So then we can go ahead and continue doing our math. The 3 is on the outside. Now we can factor this guy out here. So that's going to be x minus 1 squared. Over here, same thing. Now remember, be careful. You're going to have to do the exponent first. Negative 1 squared is 1. And then 1 times 3 is 3. Cuidado, ok. Cuando van a hacer tienen que multiplicar primero el exponente. Negativo 1 al cuadrado es 1 al poder de, y después multiplicado por 3. So then we just go ahead and subtract 3 on both sides. Okay. Vamos a restar 3. So now we have y equals 3. X minus 1 squared. 2 minus 3 is negative 1. Okay. And then you see you have this parabola, but it just it's a little bit more narrow. Okay. Todavía tienen la parábola, pero un poquito más delgada. So now your vertex is 1, comma, negative 1. So let's go ahead and graph it. So 1, comma, negative 1 is right there. Okay. Now, remember, what's my Y-intercept? Vamos a agregarle el 0. Entonces, cuando x es 0, 0 y 0 me da 2. So when x is 0, I get positive 2. So I get right here. So remember, this is your line of symmetry. Dot, 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 dot. So 1 to the left, that means we're going to go 1 to the right. And there it is, guys. You graphed it. Okay. So that's how we go ahead and do it. Factoring, or we're completing the square in order to be able to graph this guy. All right. Let's go ahead and do the second one. Vamos a hacer el segundo. Same thing. We want to graph this. We want to change it to vertex form by completing the square. So we're going to move it. Vamos a moverlo. Ok. Queremos factorizarlo completando el cuadrado, pero el problema es que no puedo factorizarlo con el 2. So, I'm going to move the minus 5, voy a mover el 5. Ahora tengo que factorizar el 2, le tengo que sacar el 2, entonces va para afuera. Ok, entonces me queda x cuadrada más 2x. And you always want to double check your math. So it's a 2 times x squared, 2x squared, 2 times 2, that give me 4. Yes, so I'm doing it right. Plus, okay, now that the 2 is out of the way, and we can go ahead and complete the square just with this inside part. Half of 2 is 1, and we're going to square it. And then, of course, put the minus 5 on the outside. And don't forget, whatever you do on one side, you do on the other. You added the 1 squared, so we're going to do the same thing. But because we're multiplying everything by 2 on the inside here, we have to also use that 2. So now 1 squared is 1 times 2 is 2. Ok, entonces aquí tenemos 1 al cuadrado es 1 por 2 es 2. ¿De dónde saqué el 2? Acuérdense, lo factoricé de aquí. No puedo completar el cuadrado cuando hay un número aquí. Entonces se lo saqué. Me quedó x cuadrada más 2x. Cuando queda así, entonces ahora puedo completar el cuadrado. Mitad del 2 es 1 y después 1 al cuadrado. No se les olvide, estamos agregando este y también este porque el 2 está multiplicando todo esto de acá. So now let's go ahead and factor. We're going to get an x plus 1 right there, squared minus 5. Positive 2 becomes a minus 2, menos 2 a los dos lados. So now we get y is equal to 2 times x plus 1 squared, negative 7, negativo 7. So now my vertex is negative 1, comma, negative 7. Great. So let's go ahead and do that. Graph it. Let's see, negativo 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's write over here. Negativo 1, negativo 7. What's my y-intercept? When x is 0, cuando la x es 0, me da menos 5. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is right here. And actually, so then this guy should be right here. Este tiene que estar acá abajo. Okay, so let me just erase that. Voy a borrar ese. Okay. So, again, here's my line of symmetry right through the vertex. So it's going to go here. Boom. Just like that. That means from the line of symmetry, 1 to the right, we're going to go 1 to the left. Right here. And we're going to go ahead and connect it. Just like that. Nice. All right, guys, let's go ahead and do a couple more. Okay, vamos a continuar a hacer dos más. Unas tres más. All right. Same thing here. Now it's negative. Ahora está negativo, pero igual. So let's go ahead and move the 1 over. Great. So we have negative 4 x squared minus 8x. And then the plus 1 is over here to the right. You're going to factor out the 4, but also factor out that negative. Vamos a factorizar el 4 y el negativo, ¿ok? Entonces nos queda x cuadrado. En vez de negativo se convierte positivo 2x. Now, double check. Negative 4 times 2, will that give me negative 8? Yes, it will. Great. So now, we're going to add. We're going to complete the square with this guy. Half of 2 is 1, and we're going to square it. Great. Now, bring down the plus 1. Remember to add the same thing on the left. So 1 squared. And don't forget, we have to multiply by the negative 4. There it is. So now we do our math. 1 squared is 1. 1 times 4 is negative 4. 1 al cuadrado es 1. Multiplicado por menos 4 es menos 4. Entonces nos da esto. So now we have negative 4. Let's go ahead and factor this guy. We get x plus 1 squared plus 1. Now just make sure the negative 4 becomes a positive 4. Okay. So now we have y equals negative 4 times x plus 1 squared and then plus 5. All right, guys. So now what's my vertex for this one? El vértice va a ser menos 1 y positivo 5. So now let's go ahead and graph it. Negative 1, positive 5, negativo 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, right up here. Now this one's going to be opening downward. How do I know? It's because it has that negative in the front. Este va a estar hacia abajo. Se abre hacia abajo porque tiene ese negativo enfrente. Ok, entonces ahora, ¿cuál es what's the y-intercept for this one, guys? This is 0. If this is 0, then it will be 1. So it would be this one. Sería este. Cuando la x es 0, lo sustituto me va a dar 0 menos 0 más 1. Aquí. Acuérdense, esta es la línea simétrica. This is our line of symmetry right here, guys. 1 to the right, that means we go 1 to the left. And then we graph it. Boom, 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 boom. Whoops, I missed it, and that's okay. Right there. Okay, tiene que pasar por este punto. And that's it. Let's do two more. Vamos a hacer dos más. Let's go ahead and do this one. Same thing, move it to the right. Vamos a moverlo. Ok, me va a dar menos 5x al cuadrado, más 25x, menos 3 al lado. Factor out the negative 5, and you're going to be left with x squared. Not plus 5, remember, because you're taking out that negative, so it's going to be minus 5x. So now I'm going to go ahead and complete the square. Voy a completar el cuadrado con el menos 5. What's half of negative 5? Well, it's negative 2.5. And we're going to square that. And it's okay. I know we got a decimal, but that's quite all right. And then make sure you add same thing on the left. So we're going to go ahead and you have 2.5 squared. Don't forget the negative 5 right there. Negativo 5. And right here we're going to get y equals negative 5, negativo 5, me va a dar x, and that's a minus 2.5, and that's going to be squared, minus 3. Okay, and then what about this one? That's going to give you, that would be negative 5 times, what is that, 6.25. And let me see if I can do that real quick, sorry guys. So we have negative 5 times 6.25. Yep, it'll be negative 31.25. So now what do? I add it. You're going to add 31.25 to both sides. Add 31.25 to both sides. Voy a sumar. Y equals negative 5. X minus 2.5. Square that. Now what about this one? Remember, you always want to put the bigger value on the top. So 31.25 on the top, you're subtracting a 3. So that's pretty easy. That's going to give you, what's that, 28.25. Positivo 28.25. So my vertex for this one is going to be positive 2.5 and positive 28.25. Okay, great. So now with this one, let's go ahead and graph it. 1, 2, 2.5. Aquí está 2.5 and then 28. Boy, it's really high up there. I'm just going to say it's right here. Voy a decir que está acá. So this is 2.5 and 28.5. This is my line of symmetry, línea simétrica. Acá. All right. Cuando la x es 0, when the x is 0, me va a dar negativo 3. It's going to give me negative 3. So 1, 2, negative 3 is right here. So 1, 2.5 to the left. They go, let's see, 1, 2.5 to the right. There it is. And this one's really steep. And that makes sense because you notice this has a 5. You see that? The greater this thing is, the greater the steepness, the thinner it is. Okay. All right, let's do one more. Vamos a hacer una más con la fracción. So we're going to do the same thing. Okay, lo voy a mover a la par y le voy a factorizar el medio. So we're going to factor out the 1/2. We're going to be left with x squared. Remember, the positive 3 is out here. El positivo 3 está al lado. So what am I going to put here? Okay. If I put 2, si pongo 2, well, half times 2 is not 4. So you're going to have to actually double this guy. Vamos a tener que hacer el doble. Porque miren, la mitad de 8 me va a dar 4. Si yo le pongo 2 acá, la mitad de 2 no me va a dar 4. So be careful with that one. Remember, it's always the inverse or the opposite. So half is like dividing by 2. So what's the opposite of dividing by 2? Multiplying by 2. So I multiply this guy by 2, and I got 8. So is half of 8 4? Yes, it is. So then I can go ahead and complete the square. We're going to go ahead and add, what's half of negative 8? Negative 4. We're going to square that. All right. And then on the same thing on the other side, negative 4 squared. And then don't forget the half. Don't forget the half. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and have y equals 1/2. And then we have x minus 4 squared. You have the plus 3 on the outside. Negative 4 squared, negativo 4 al cuadrado is 16, 16. What's half of 16? Is 8. So we have 8. Then just subtract 8 on both sides. Great. So now you have y is equal to 1/2. X minus 4 squared. 3 minus 8 is minus 5. So my vertex for this guy is positive 4 comma negative 5. Great. So positive 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Negative 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is my line of symmetry, mi línea simétrica right here. What's my y-intercept? Cuando la x es 0, me va a dar positivo 3. When x is 0, you plug it in, you get positive 3. So 1, 2, 3 is right here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So then to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4. There it is, guys. And then go ahead and just try to connect it as best as you can right here. All right. And that's it, guys. So that's how you go ahead and complete the square when there's a number and you have to factor it out. So hopefully that helps, guys. All right, guys. Till next time. Good luck.